Right, good morning. The pardon board is called to order. Today is Monday, August 4th, 2025. It is 9 a.m. And could we get a roll call, please?
Ms. Renata,
Yes, present.
Ms. Davidson, present. Mr. Prater,
Present.
Mr. Tillman,
Present.
Mr. Freeman.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Oh, thank you. We will allow public comment on requests before any action item. So we'll just move right into regular business. And the first item is review and approval of the minutes from Monday, July 21st, which are included in your packets. Are there any corrections? I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
We have a motion by Mr. Tillers. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Stapleton. Any objection? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. And so we'll move right into consideration of applications for clemency. And our first case is that of Miss Evans. Good morning. Would Miss Evans and counsel step up to the podium, please?
Yes, Madam Chairman. Yeah, come on.
Good morning. Let me just read some identifying information into the record. So you are here to, well, first introduce yourself, Ms. Evans. Tell us your name and your current mailing address.
Dena Evans, 558 Hickory Lane, Jonesboro,
Okay,
Louisiana 72.
thank you. And counsel, would you enter your name to the record, please?
Robert Moore, 3576 Highway 371, Rego, Louisiana. Please.
Okay, thank you. So Ms. Evans is here this morning seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. She has convictions in Lincoln and Jackson Parish, and I'm going to read through those for the record. Lincoln Parish in January 2012, contributing to delinquency of a juvenile. She received a 30-day jail sentence that was suspended. She was placed on 3 months probation. November 2012, theft less than $300. She received a 60-day jail sentence, suspended 3 months, placed on 3 months active probation. November 2012, criminal mischief and theft less and theft. She received 3 months active probation. That's right, yes. And 30 days parish jail for the theft. 60 days jail that was suspended, 3 months active probation. Also in Lincoln Parish, November 2013, theft of less than $300. And then in Jackson Parish, we have February 2016, DWI third offense, to which she pled guilty to DWI second offense, received a 90-day jail sentence, and 6 months with credit for time served in year probation. In April 2016, possession of Schedule 4. She received a 3-year hard labor sentence that was suspended. She was placed on 3 years probation, and theft, a 30-day jail sentence with credit for time served. Did I get all that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'd like, your case has been assigned to Mr. Prater. So before I turn it over to him, either you or counsel, tell us what is it that you're seeking today? How did you get in all that situation? And why do you think we should vote favorably?
Madam Chairwoman, if I can just preliminarily note a couple of things. Miss Evans and I, not just a lawyer, I'm actually a friend. Been a friend for some time. Known the family now for probably 15, 20 years. I practiced law in that district for 21, 22 years. And Miss Evans is currently employed with the Jackson Parish Sheriff's Department. She was employed now for 6 years with that department. If you'll notice the timeline of those cases, she's I think 52 years old, and this represents less than 10% of her life. It was a short period of time, addiction. I'm gonna let her tell the story of how that led up to that and where she's at. And share
Hello. Yes, in 2012, I went through a lot, and I actually started on pain medication. That's what started. And then it went into alcohol. That lasted for about 6 years, I believe. And I was able to go into rehab in Florida. my family, and so I flew to Delray. I was down there for 4 years. And since I've been back, I've had no alcohol, no controlled substances or anything. I live by myself. I am a widow, since 2014. Never remarried. I have 3 gorgeous kids. My son couldn't be here. And then my granddaughter's there in the middle. My life revolves around them. The reason I am seeking a pardon is I can't do anything as far as the state of Louisiana to further my law enforcement. I can't get on the state computer. It's all kicking me out. So I can't do like driver's license and all that. You know, I have to rely on somebody else. So I will never move up in my law enforcement until I receive a pardon.
Okay, and I didn't acknowledge your guest. Let me just, for the record, say your daughters Miranda Evans and Chelsea Burns are here, and you mentioned your granddaughter Faith Burns, who are also here. I'm glad y'all are here. Thanks for being here today. So, Mr. Prater.
Okay, good morning.
Yay.
Let's see, so the only felony conviction you have is having the 2 Xanax, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Mr. Sheriff, I do believe there's a schedule of 2 and 4.
2 and 4?
I believe there's. Both those 4. Okay, but there are 2, so I apologize. I want to make sure that was correct. I think it's two convictions, but both are 4.
Okay, and you got multiple arrests, and they've been, when I say recent, they're recent by what we see a lot of times. We'll see somebody 40 years ago, they had some marijuana, they wanted off the record, so less than 10 years is kind of recent, but it's almost 10. It really makes it difficult to question you in front of your kids and granddaughters, you know?
No,
We could ask him to step out, Mr. Sheriff. That would be no problem at all.
No, they might, well, now that we brought it up, I was just wondering, how many theft charges did you have?
I believe it was like, 3, under $300. I was under the influence, not that that would ever make a difference, but I was, I had money with me to pay for that.
Okay, and what was your drug of preference?
Perkins and Xanax.
Okay. All right, you got a good letter from your probation parole officer, very good, which we don't see those that often. They usually don't take a stance, you know, on something, but this one did, said you're a great model. You went through the drug treatment program in Florida.
Yes, sir.
Is that the only one, or did I hear that you'd gone through another one?
I went through a prior one, in Alameda at a Rabel. That is the, I left because my husband, they found him deceased. And,
So you didn't complete that one, but you
no,
started.
sir, and
Okay,
I got right back out there. Picked up pretty much where I left off, and that was 2014. And then I entered the drug rehab in Florida, June 7th, 2016.
okay. And you got a good letter from your supervisor there at the sheriff's office. What, are you wanting to, are you requesting your gun rights back also?
Yes, sir.
Are those completely necessary for advancing? In other words, can you still do NCIC and run everything on your lets, you know? Can you do all that without gun rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Oh, any questions? How did you start with the pain pills? Was there an accident or something?
Well, I was having back trouble, but no, ma'am. I pretty much went and had that prescription,
Yeah.
and after that,
Yeah.
I was, addiction does run in my family. My mother and dad both are deceased now, but my mother, she passed away at 30. And I can remember, as long as the pain medication stuff. And it just followed suit. I'd have never, and I always swore when I was little that I would never be hurt.
Yeah.
One day, I looked in the mirror and she was there.
Mr. Moore, is there anything else you'd like to say to us?
Can I ask you a
Sure.
question? Do you do any follow-up treatment now, any kind of meetings or you in any groups, anything?
I did celebrate recovery and stuff for about, it was just 9 years, June 7th. And for the first 4 years, 3 or 4 years, I did.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, can I file a letter from the sheriff just confirming her employment currently with the sheriff? Yes, sir.
Yeah, would you hand it to the officer? All right, do you want me to see this? This is confirming her employment with the sheriff's office. This is from Sheriff Andy Brown. Mr. Tiller.
You said, you have addiction problem in your family?
It's
How far back did your mother and father?
my mother, only my mother, not that that's, I may have got the addiction problem, whether or not I'm not saying that it was her. But I believe it's hereditary. And so, but she passed away in when she was 34. I was actually 12 years old. I was actually the one that filmed her. Her autopsy come back as heart failure, 34. The doctor said that was brought on from all the opiates and medication that she took. She can say her heart just couldn't beat anymore.
So, how old were your kids when you started on your trip?
Kelsey was 12, 11, 16, and she was 13, and then my son was 14.
So what do you plan to do to curb them? I want them to go through that same pattern.
Certainly, and they have every reason, sir, to go through it, but they're great. Kids, all 3 of them are great. My oldest one is a school teacher. My son, he is a supervisor in West Texas in oil business. She is the assistant to the CEO of Origin Bank in Ruston. And all of my granddaughters have been on the principal's list since the day they started school.
I know what persons.
I do have one. You were arrested, you had a prescription bottle of Xanax, and I guess maybe the hydrocodone.
Yes, ma'am.
So it was a prescription bottle in your name, and it said that it was expired, and that's why, you were arrested. So what was going on? Did you get like one prescription and you were buying it off the street and refilling it?
Actually, that's exactly what happened, that I was getting a prescription monthly. Dining, I believe, is what I was prescribed.
Okay.
When I would run out, which was very quickly. When you're an addict, 1, 2 is not enough. Sometimes 6 is not enough. So yes, I was buying them off the street and had them in the box, thinking that was gonna be a smart thing.
So how did it come to pass that you actually got the drug charge? It said that the prescription was expired.
One of my drugs, actually both of them was Xanax.
Mhm.
The Xanax, when I got arrested, I believe it was for the DWI. That
Okay.
Xanax was in the bottom of my purse.
Uh-huh.
It was 1, and I got charged with Schedule 4, which is right. Some of that I got charged with made me who I am today. It was consequences that brought me here. And the other one was a bottle that did not have my name on.
Okay. And it had.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That would explain that. Thank you.
Mr.
May I add one thing? Mr. Chairman? To answer, Sheriff Prater asked me to go talk for children and board president. For the last almost 20 years now that I've known Dena, she has been very transparent with me. I've known Matt for years and years. I've known Chelsea since she was a teenager. This is something that her kids and grandkids have known. She's been honest with him. I think hoping that cycle would change. Because again, I knew her when she was on drugs too. Because like I said, I've known her now for my whole career. I didn't represent her on underlying charges, but I'm a criminal defense lawyer in the neighborhood. So, you know, you just know who the people you're dealing with are. And I've seen her now come full circle to here we are standing here and she's working for law enforcement. So it's really kind of a neat circle. But I would just tell her that she doesn't have anything from the family. They've known her struggles.
Okay. Well, I congratulate you on your bringing the kids up and what you've done and all. And my vote would be to grant your pardon, but without restoration of firearms at this particular time. It hasn't even been 10 years yet since your last. Also grant without restoration.
Mr. Freeman?
You are right at the 10 years though. So I mean, that's kind of just a goal that we set is someone to be out 10 years and conviction free. But I'm also going to vote for your pardon. I think you've done a wonderful job and you were very honest today. I appreciate it. Without.
Mr. Tellers?
My vote is to grant without firearm.
Mrs. Stapleton?
Mine will be to grant without restoration.
Yeah, and I do concur with my colleagues. My vote is the same. So on your behalf, we're going to make that recommendation to the governor. Should you be successful with that, you can come back at a later time, maybe for the restoration of firearms once more time. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Brown.
All right, kids. Yeah.
Sir, introduce yourself. Tell us your name and your current mailing address.
Joshua Fleming, it's 154 Coach Road, Ball, Louisiana, 74005.
Sir. All right, Mr. Fleming, you're here today seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You have, you were sentenced in Rapides Parish. Let's see, you have December 2002, theft greater than $500. You received a 3-year DOC sentence that was suspended. You were placed on active probation. August 2003, possession of Schedule 3. You received a 3-year probation sentence. And then February 2006, second-degree battery, a 5-year DOC sentence. 3.5 years were suspended and plus 3 years of probation. Does all that sound right to you?
Yes.
Okay. Would you, sir, tell us why you're seeking relief through the pardon process. How'd you get in all that trouble and why should we vote for you?
Okay, so I guess I'll start with how I got into all the trouble and everything. Young age, in my opinion, just hanging out with the wrong people, which I'm big on accountability. And I don't want to make excuses or anything like that. So I made some bad decisions around the wrong people and got into some situations that I put myself in, and I got into trouble. And I didn't learn from them till the last situation. I think it was probably about a 3-year little run right there. But I just wasn't doing right for myself and everything. So the last situation right there, I got in trouble, and that's when I actually did get a slap on my hand with probation. I had to go to jail. I did 18 months and no problems or anything like that. And that right there, I don't want that. I never want that again. I did have a couple little deals after that through the times to where I made a bad decision. But besides those right there, I started having children after that. Right now I have 4 children. So Noah is 18. She's starting LSUA here this semester coming up. She's going to be a teacher. We're proud of that. Madeline, she's 15. I'm sorry, 14, about to be 15. She's going to the 9th grade in high school. She's really nervous right now. The first day is Monday. So Brian is 9 years old. That's my son. And he is going to 5th grade. He's one of the main reasons why I do this. I get to that in a second. Plus, I have Palmer Kate. She's 3 years old. She's going on 13 also. So the reason why I'm actually requesting for this is a number of reasons, but most of all, it's how it limits me as a father to raise my son. And they say keep him in the woods and keep him out of jail. I want to teach him to hunt and all these things, and it's. As of right now, it's limited to me, and I've been making excuses on why. I haven't been really honest with my children why I'm not able to do like everybody else is able to do out there. I'm embarrassed of it in my past. I don't want to. They haven't asked me. I'm not going to lie to them, but I haven't just been open about what's happened in the past because I just don't feel like it's okay for them to say, "Well, you did it." It's pretty much just kind of just protecting them. We did. Me and my wife, we bought some property on Saline Lake, which is it's an opportunity to get a pretty good exclusive hunt club. And I bought it from ex-Senator Governor Pearson, I don't know if y'all know him, but he's one of my neighbors over there. That's another reason, like a lot of the people that we surround ourselves with now are at a higher level or have good reputations and all that. And the conversations hadn't come up, or the situations hadn't come up, hey, why aren't you doing this? And because I'm convicted felon, it's pretty embarrassing. I just want to get to where I can not have anything hold me back from just raising my son at this critical age right here. Seeing some things where I'm trying to instill into him, don't go down this path that I did, so I don't want him to understand I went down that path and turned out fine when you said it was excuse, So I don't know if I'm rambling on about it. That's
Let me interrupt for just a minute. You do realize this is on YouTube, right?
I understand, and I'm hoping they don't watch this.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just make sure before you said anything
I
else.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if they do, I'll have to hold myself accountable and explain to it.
Yes, I understand. I
But
just want you to
that's one
know.
of my reasons as a father, this limits me to, I guess, raising them the way I'd like to raise them, being out hunting, having them experience.
All right,
It
well,
has also affected my job. Here recently, I wasn't allowed into Fort Polk Airport's, Fort Polk base because of it, and I had to visit people there, and I was asked to apply for the business license where I was at, and during the application process, I seen the question was asked for you convicted felon, so I didn't proceed with it because I didn't want the embarrassment as an executive level to have to admit that to people that don't know.
okay. Well, I didn't acknowledge that we do have someone on Zoom with us today and from the DA's office in Rapid Parish, Mr. Derek Johnson, and he's available for any questions my colleagues may have. Mr. Fleming, your case was assigned to Mrs. Stapleton. Would you answer her question?
Mr. Fleming, you're appearing before us, and of course, it's gonna uncover your past.
Right.
Because that's what we have to do.
Yes, sir.
So your adult record is extensive. And, you were saying that things embarrass you and stuff like that, but you had, have listed here, well, it says felon and violent offender. So that's crimes of violence. He had an armed robbery in 98, felon with a firearm in 98. Does that sound familiar?
Not a problem. No.
Did you get? Oh, I'm just. Like, might not, because I printed it out. So please, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so let's go to, did you go to Red River Treatment
I
Center?
did.
You did.
Yes.
And what year was that? Let me get that right.
A year?
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
I think it was like 2002.
I would say my age was probably about 19. I would say,
19.
yeah, 42, so.
So at that time, you realized you had a problem and you started then to do something about it.
I didn't fully execute.
Okay, all right. But then it was in 2004 that we get to the stabbing incident.
Yes, ma'am. I believe I was stuck.
Yeah. So, and then that's when it was you and 5 people total, right? And this,
I was 4 or 5 months.
yeah, and this guy was your friend, am I correct?
He was a mutual friend, yeah. An acquaintance, but yeah, he was.
So what led y'all to the idea that y'all would start punching on him?
So it was. What it was the group of people, including myself, and we were all hanging out with, we were looking. And we had heard that his group of friends had did the same to one of our buddies and one of the things. He beat him up. Not 1 ounce of meat or anything to do that it was going to end up the way it was, with any kind of stabbing or anything like that. We thought this young boys getting into a fight. Whenever we found out later that it was a stabbing involved by one of the people that was with us, that was kind of outside of our group of friends, that was extreme. Yeah, I don't know. There was no kind of way of acknowledging anything of that. We thought it was just a group of guys getting into a fight, which is not acceptable, understand. Not a million years if I knew that somebody's life would have been risked by it or anything out of any part of it.
So then later you found out that the stabbing took place. He was stabbed multiple times. And the thing that you took part in is when people were holding them and you hit him in the face 4 times. Is that
I
right?
believe so. I know I did throw some punches or whatever it was. I was it.
So then you turned yourself into the police department. And how much time did you serve for that?
I believe actual jail time was 1.5 years. But I think, I don't remember how long it was, but I think I was sentenced to 5 years, I guess 3.5 was on probation.
Then after that, did you have a burglary and a theft and a boat?
That was when I was 17.
Okay. And then DWI?
Yes, ma'am, I did have a DWI.
Okay.
That particular right there, like I said, I don't like excuses or anything, and I held myself accountable. We did have a designated driver that night. That was later. I forget what age it was, maybe 30, somewhere around there.
Oh, so even after,
Yeah.
even after the aggravated battery, which, I mean, I know it got laid down and stuff. I don't have any further questions.
Any other questions? I do need to make you aware, we do have opposition that's been expressed in the record from law enforcement, since due to the violent nature of the second-degree battery. And the DA's office is opposed to the restoration of firearms. And you are friends with Brandon Connell,
Yes, ma'am.
who's the victim of the stab.
I have one more places, but I've apologized to him on my side. He's forgave me.
All right, any other questions? All right, I don't see any other questions. We're prepared to vote. Mrs. Stapleton?
Yeah, today I listened to what you had to say about the hunting and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead, Joshua, and give you parole with, pardon with firearms.
Mr. Prater?
DWI in 2019 bothers me a lot. And the fact that the violent crime back when it was, I want to see some time between 2019 and now. I vote no.
Mr. Fleming,
The DWI in 2019 also gets me, we're gonna have to wait a little longer. I think you're doing excellent, but that DWI is very scary. So my vote is to deny.
Mr. Tillis,
I agree. My vote also is to deny because of DWI
Okay.
and law enforcement opposition.
I think Mr. Fleming, this morning, you didn't get the votes you needed to have a favorable outcome, but I think you'll be able to reapply once a little more time has passed. I have, try to have different outcomes. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Oh, okay. That's no problem. You're fine.
Ready.
All right, sir, introduce yourself. Tell
My
us,
name is Leonard Nicholas,
and what's your mailing address?
541 Foxwood Lane, Louisiana.
Mr. Nicholas, let me acknowledge you have a friend who's here in support today. We have Kerry Myers, who's on Zoom, and he wants to speak on your behalf. Look, turn around, you'll see. Yeah. Yeah, and then, also here with us, Cynthia Sanders, also a friend, fiance Arlene Melosson, both of you want to speak, and we'll, ask for their comments in just a moment. First, let me just read some identifying information into the record, Mr. Nicholas. So your DOC number is 100868. You
Yes,
are
ma'am.
classified as a first felony offender. So you were originally sentenced July 1982 for a second-degree murder. You received a life sentence.
Yes, ma'am.
In May of 2016, that sentence was vacated and you pled guilty to the amended charge of manslaughter. You received a 21-year sentence. The charge of aggravated crime against nature was added, and you received a 14-year sentence to run consecutive.
Yes, ma'am.
To the
They had me
manslaughter.
charged to make up for the time. In other words, if they couldn't have let me out on manslaughter because I had did more time than the 21 years at the time they did.
Right. And so at that time, you were released from prison.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell us today why you are seeking relief. I do note that you're seeking a pardon without restoration of firearms.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell us why.
I'm seeking a pardon because I was told, on the last two charges that you did by the DA's office. And if I didn't plead guilty with those charges, it was gonna make sure I go back to Angola and never have a chance again. And it kind of bothered me because I was asked to plead guilty to a charge in a place that I've never ever been in my life. I apologize to the victim's family for what they went through for something I did not do. And during that time, the reason why my sentence was vacated because the actual perpetrator, he confessed to the crime. I was given 2 polygraph tests, one by Angola and one by Colonel of that news homicide division. They talked about it. So my hands was like, I did almost 38 years. I wanted to go home. I had enough of somebody to do. And they told me I killed President Kennedy to go home. Yes, I did.
So, so why are you here today? So
I'm
you
here
got
today.
that relief when you pled guilty, you got out of jail. Why are you here?
I'm here today because since I've been out of prison, I bought a home, I had 3 vehicles. I am seeking my full potential, and I'm very embarrassed that I have to show my identification and he knows it's a sex offense. And it's not me. And also a murder. A manslaughter, and it's stopping me from different jobs and to fulfill my full potential in life. I feel highly about that. I really want to be a full citizen.
Okay. All right, well, let's hear from, before we start our interview with you, we want to hear from Mr. Myers. Ms. Carrie, what can you tell us about Mr. Nicholas?
Good morning. I've known Mr. Nicholas for more than 30 years, and I can tell you that from a character point of view, while he was incarcerated, he was a trustee for numerous years, for decades. He had some of the most trusted positions. He trained horses, which is, not only a skill, but a very trusted position. Also, though, Mr. Nicholas and I had something in common. We were both wrongfully convicted. And when you have conversations like that, number one, you look at the other person initially very skeptically. But I can tell you in this particular case, I was actually part of a conversation with Warden Kane when he recognized that there was someone who actually committed this crime. And he himself and an attorney went to the hospital to get the deathbed confession. That's how much they believed in Lenny. And they got this deathbed confession. And that led to the fact that they were able to negotiate a plea bargain with Lenny. However, unfortunately, I believe that they asked him to plead to something that didn't have a statute of limitations so that they could actually still maintain a conviction. I understand his difficulty with this offense that he has to register. An offense that I think that if the board looked at, Lenny had absolutely no knowledge of nor participation in. And so based on the fact that I was actually fully aware and privy to directly to the conversation with Warden Kane about his innocence, Lenny has done nothing but exceptional things since he's been home. He has worked hard. He has advanced in his job. He has opportunities to advance even further, but this particular charge that requires him to register limits his ability to move, to go places, to travel. And so that's why he's here seeking. In this case, it's in essence, it's restoration. It's restoration of his life, of his status, of his reputation. And while Lenny would be the first person to admit that in his younger days he wasn't exactly an angel, it's also extraordinarily difficult to live being accused of something you didn't do. And in spite of that, Lenny excelled while he was incarcerated. And so I'd ask this board to consider those factors today.
Yeah. Could we hear from Ms. Arlene Molosson?
I've had the privilege of meeting this wonderful man for a couple of years. That he could actually murder someone, it's just beyond my comprehension. I mean, this man can't kill both of them and be outside. So to kill a human being, you can imagine. He has come further in his life than I have in mine. He's only been out for 5 years now. You know, he immediately was from the pipeline. He retired last year. The better benefits than I had, and I've been working my job like this. You know, he gives back to the community. He gives the same to James. He gives to the light of angels, goes down on here, bless the Lord, brings him to the community. I mean, like, you know, he said he's hampered by what he could do. But they took 38 years. Now he's diagnosed with cancer. I don't think he had 38 years left. What I'm asking today is to consider. He did time for something he cannot do. He showed his symptoms. And he would be the first one to tell you, those people would have come out of that and been bitter, angry, and out looking for revenge. There's not a good one of these things. When I first found out about it, I was livid. I was calling everyone, trying to get this done today. That's school year. It started 9 years ago. They've been working on this to cheer them to try to get the same thing. And that's all it is. He's accomplished this much in 9 years. I can't imagine what the next one or how one could have. So I'm asking you to listen with your heart. Look at the evidence that's going to be presented to you. And give it back to them. It's almost asking to just be able to find people that look for you without this copy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Ms. Sanders.
My name is Cynthia Sanders, and in 2009, I went to work with Spencer Castellani, who handed me a banker's box full of documents with no rhyme or reason. I put them together, and I was amazed at the prosecutorial misconduct that went on in those cases. I won't go into everything, but I believe that you have been provided a flash drive where Mike Myers eventually said that he could be fine. And in her documentation of the application, the doctor who was in charge of his care said that he was of sound mind when he made that confession. Lenny has, he suffered. There's no way that I could be in jail all those years with the Louisiana heat in the middle. If I just had recently had a heat problem at my house. But anyway, contained in that box was a transcript. And I believed in him. I do to this day. I helped him with that issue. Because within that box were the records that were needed. They were gone with Katrina. I was able to get some people to help me to get them certified to attach to the application. And he's a good guy. He loves animals. Remember when he got out of just trying. I gave him a hug. He eventually rented some expensive block from him. And he got a little cat. His name is Oscar. And he's a good person. Myself, I started in April of 2016. Paulie became the helpers. We tied around. We got cheap. Just ask that you open your hearts. Do what you deserve. What is accused of. And last minute, sexual battery charge, in my opinion, is punitive. Because Mike Myers committed that.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. All right.
Still something prison need to go.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Nicholas, yeah. Your case is assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you answer his question?
Okay, Mr. Nicholas. How long did you serve in Angola?
About, altogether, about 38 years.
About 38 years? Okay, we're down 36, so you served 38. Okay, and do you still drink?
No, sir.
Okay, so you don't drink anymore.
Sir.
All right. How long you been without drinking? Did you?
Since I've been out of prison?
You never drank when you got out?
No, sir.
Good deal. Yeah. Okay, and I'm looking at everything, and the record does have that you passed 2 lie detector tests. Mr. Myers admitted to the killing. Did Mr. Myers admit to a sexual assault also?
Not in my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge.
No, it was all just under the same murder, the same place.
Mhm. Okay. Do you know what the sexual assault, what it
No, sir.
what it was about?
All the DA office said is that we got some, I don't want you to assume, we got some unfinished years that we can't account for. So I'm gonna ask you to plead to this. That's, man, I don't want to, that, I'm against that. And she said, well, I tell you what, you can be stupid. She told my lawyer, you don't do this today, I'll make sure you go back to Angola and never see the free world again.
Yeah, I saw that in your statement that
One of the words, but I'm trying to be sick.
right, I
I'll make
understand.
sure you go back to Angola and die.
Yes, sir. Okay, and so what do you do for the pipeline? What did you do for the
Okay, a
pipeline?
bunch of things. I started off learning how to coach. I became a coaching specialist. And then after that, all the formulas started. I was a workaholic. I show up an hour early because if you show up an hour early and the guy's strong balls don't show up and he'll come and ask you, would you mind, stocking out the truck for my meeting? I'll give you an hour. So sure. And then after that, I noticed that they started trusting me, and I ran the yard. In other words, I was responsible under the purchase agents for everything that came in that yard. to finish the job, to make sure nothing ran short. And that's my last job. The last two jobs was, I was the yard laborer and responsible for all the incoming and outgoing children.
Okay. Also, I want to state for the record that there is, the only opposition is from the chief of police in New Orleans. And, I think that's a blanket policy that they have, because it does say it's the general policy. And, really and truly, it's all explained, so I have no further questions.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. I think we're ready to vote. Mr. Freeman?
You know, it's tough because we're all been trained to not try to retry a case,
Yes, sir.
to take it at face value. If he pled guilty, he's guilty. In this case, there is a lot of doubt in my mind. My vote today, I'm gonna grant without restoration of firearms.
Sir.
Mr. Tillis?
My vote is to grant with restoration with firearm.
Mr. Stapleton?
My vote is to grant with, out restoration of firearms, because you weren't even interested in,
No, ma'am,
that's
I
right,
don't want it.
that's right, so grant without.
Mr. Prater?
Finish.
I concur grant without,
My vote is the same. So we're gonna make on your behalf the recommendation that you be granted a pardon without the restoration of firearms. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. James Broussard, would you introduce yourself and tell us your current mailing address?
James Brousssard, 2847 Privateer Boulevard, Barataria, Louisiana, 70036.
All right, sir, and you are here. Let me first acknowledge you, yes, that you have. Your dad, Mr. Francis Broussard, and your wife, Miss Patty Broussard. And we'll call on them at the appropriate time for their remarks.
Yes, ma'am.
Also joining us today is from the DA's office in Jefferson, Mr. Randall Meyer. First, let me just read some information into the record, sir. So you are here today seeking a pardon without restoration of firearms?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
correct? Excuse me. So we have convictions in what I see of Walls, Jefferson, and Orleans Parish. We have March 1998 Jefferson Parish armed robbery. You received a 5-year DOC sentence. October 1998 in Boyles Parish. That was illegal possession of stolen things. You received an 18-month DOC sentence. In May 2000 in Orleans, illegal carrying of a weapon, 6 months DOC. All right, and so tell us before we get started on our interview, and we're going to hear from your guests before we start. Tell us why, how'd you get in all that trouble and why are you seeking relief through this process?
I was lost when I was younger, looking for something to be a part of. Got put up at the wrong time. And went the long way. The horrible thing. I still regret to this day. I can't imagine how man must feel, he pulled up to a stop sign. Very remorseful for what I did. Can't change it. I can try to do better in my community. So I have a 12-year-old son that I coached 7 seasons of football and baseball. And they found out about my conviction as a good coach.
All right, we can get some more information through the interview process. First, we'd like to hear from your dad, Mr. Francis. Can you tell us what you'd like us to know about James?
Yes, ma'am. It wasn't a highlight of my life when I had to go visit him in prison, kid jail and but he was, God only gives them their brains about when they're 25. And he hadn't gotten his yet. And so finally, somewhere after 25, he started getting this. But he did stupid things. It was just, they don't think, they're bulletproof, bazooka. And so finally he met Patty. And so they got together. And before he had met Patty, he, as they say, he made 3 different babies from 3 different baby mamas. And since that time, she's become the mother to all of them. The oldest is now married with a child on the way. He's got a job. He works for his dad because his dad owns a plumbing company. He employs about 9 men. Then the daughter, she got a Patrick Kennedy in Jefferson. Patrick, I'm sorry. And she's got a job. And now the youngest is John Curtis. And he's in fact, he's going on a trip tomorrow because he got straight A's. He was getting C's and D's. And so they said, we can go to this big park. And so it wasn't that hard to make A's. Remind me of your father. So, and then, and he during the hurricane, yeah, he did approximately 30 houses. He talked free, put blue tops on all of them. He now still gives all the older people and the people in the community Lafitte Baratarian. When they need plumbing, they call him. And he employs about, like I said, 8 people. And he does a lot for the church and for the community. And I'm proud of him now. Oh, he was across the bed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Ms. Patty, do we hear from you?
Good morning. I obviously didn't know him when all of that was going on. I didn't meet my husband until 2013. By then, I think he had calmed down as much as he was going to. He was already started his own business several years before that. I came in and helped him run the business. The business prospered. He's now licensed in 4 states, and every community across that state. As my father-in-law stated, we did a lot of charity work through the Ida fiasco in our community. He also gives back to a lot of the recreation centers for the little baseball teams and football teams. We just do a lot for the kids, and the whole thing was he wants to be involved in my son's sporting events, and we have a coach, and he's a good man. He's raised all 3 of our children by himself until I came along, and all 3 of them have been raised to be successful. But for him to continue to do that, he just needs to get this blemish kind of wiped off of his record so that he can continue to work with the kids. That is his passion. I can't, I get emotional, but I can't say enough about my husband. I've been through quite a few medical things myself, and he has dropped everything, taking care of me, cooked and cleaned, ran the whole house. I just really can't say enough good about him. Totally different person than the person I heard about that created and did these crimes. It's not anything that's in him anymore. I guess that's not as much as I can say. He's a fantastic man now. Very proud of who he has become.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Meyer, can we hear from the DA's office, please?
Yes, ma'am. Randall Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. We have no position on his request for the pardon. I did have some concerns with the firearms, but I understand the request is without benefit of firearms, without restoration of firearms, I'm sorry. And we would have no position with that request.
Thank you, sir. All right. Mr. Brousssard, your case has been assigned to Mrs. Stapleton. Would you answer her question?
Good morning, sir. So we've gone over some of your criminal history.
Yes, ma'am.
So to bring you up to past that point, I did want to ask you about domestic abuse battery charge
Yes, ma'am.
that was refused in 2013.
Yes, ma'am. So my oldest son, again, Patty has now adopted him. His mother got really bad off on drug abuse. And she's a beautiful woman, convict. So it was a long battle to try to get custody of him, but no one believed. She kind of framed me on some stuff to try to get me in trouble because she knew that was my weakness. And that's why the charges were refused, because they realized that there was no substance. And it took me a minute to get away from it because I didn't want to leave my son. I couldn't take my son because the coach just kept saying, "They're convicted felon." She's not. It took a couple of years to prove that she was bad off on substance abuse. And once the court awarded sole custody to me and Patty, she just found it on the way. She was supposed to do supervised visitation every day. She hasn't seen him in a year.
Oh. All right, so other than that, you have a long period since your armed robbery. You were 17 years old when the first robbery occurred. And then it was one thing after another, and it got worse and worse. And then you ended up in prison, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And I was in prison as a juvenile. It was always short periods of time. I say short periods, 4 months, 6 months, and 9 months. And like my dad said, I just kind of felt invincible, where I was above the law, and Dad and my dad would always get me out of trouble. Finally got a 10 years flat sentence, which I gave back. That was when it was convicted felon for fire, which got reduced to possession of fire. I had 10 flat years. Gave a lot of time to think about what I had done to people. How I didn't try to become that person. This is what I did.
So what programs were offered to you while you were in prison during this time that you carried on further after you were?
So the biggest thing I can remember is my attorney. Was first in there, I had 10 flat years, 18, excuse me, but white, didn't really have it that easy. So my attorney told me, why am I out here fighting for you? You're in there still getting trouble. He said, you get one more write up and I'm dropping the case. So I've got it right up. I got the PRIDE program, which is going a year without a write up. Family started being able to bring you food. I got the horticulture program, associate's degree in horticulture. My dad instilled in me at an early age, hard work ethic. So I got out and my own brother. That's the way to show me a plumbing trade. Picked up.
Your dad trying to tell you something?
I was trying to say I graduated from LSU with an associate's degree in horticulture, even though I never used to take that.
Yeah, but you did. I saw too also that you got your GED while you were in
Yes.
prison. So that led to all the rest of the things
Yes.
that to be accomplished. So I did see all your accomplishments since you left prison that, got your master's certificate, what, in plumbing? And you said you own your own plumbing.
Different states, and then I work with my dad as well, selling pipe now.
Yeah.
Since 2020. Pipe rep company. They got a little nervous about his age, so they asked him to train somebody.
Okay, now I did see where it says, you reported using with drugs, mainly, marijuana, but alcohol and occasionally cocaine.
Yes, ma'am.
And that, when you got your custody of your son, that all stopped.
Yes, ma'am.
So what have you done now out in the world that this is all stopped? What's, do AA or NA or any of those things?
No, ma'am, I just use my family as a support group. You know, we're constantly taking vacations, have, you know, a 12-year-old son looking up to me. I had other children looking up to me before, but it was just different. I had a different mindset, more of a why me mentality instead of, hey, I need to fix myself, fix my way of thinking, change my way of thinking.
Mhm.
You know, now when I look at someone who performs a criminal act, it's like, it's just way different. You know, when I was younger, I got caught up in that wanting to be a gangster mentality, listening to gangster rap, and kind of influenced by that scene. Again, I was lost looking for something. My parents divorced when I was 10. Siblings were older. I was, you know, left alone a lot. And that was my, you know, I don't mind that was played with.
So other than that last charge for domestic abuse battery, and then you had a telephone communication in 2011, all of that was going along with that? Okay.
Baby mama drama.
Okay. So then prior to that, how many years have we had since you got in trouble with the law?
Since then, or
Before this last 2013?
before that,
Yeah.
I was released in 2002,
Okay,
and I didn't have any incidents until then.
okay. So we're looking back up to 2002. Okay, now I heard Mr. Myers say you're requesting without firearms, is that
Yes, ma'am.
correct? Okay, I wanted to make sure that, I don't have any further questions.
Any questions? We're prepared to vote. You just stated you.
Today, sir, I'm gonna grant your request for a pardon without firearms. I think you've done excellent. And, good luck.
Mr. Prater.
My vote is to, recommend
Recommend.
that we pardon you with no restoration fine.
Mr. Freeman.
My vote is the same, no firearm rights, but to grant your pardon.
And Mr. Tillis.
I regret pardon, but no, without reps, without firearms.
My vote's the same. Vote on your behalf, Mr. Brousssard will make that recommendation to the governor. Good luck to you.
Good morning, Mr. Gaines. Would you introduce yourself, tell us your name and your mailing address?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you want to get up there and help him? You gonna help us turn?
My name is Harry Gaines. Junior. My mailing address is 2913 Andy Drive, Father to down 7009.
And we have Miss Eunice Gaines, your wife, that's helping us out today. Thank you. Thank you for helping assist. Also joining us is someone from the DA's office in Jefferson Parish, and we'll ask for his remarks shortly. First, Mr. Gaines, I'm going to read some information into the record. So at any time you need to tell him, go ahead. You are classified as a first felony offender seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in October 1986 in Jefferson Parish for manslaughter. You received a 9-year sentence. Is all that correct?
Yes.
Did you get any of that? Did you get any of that, Mr. Gaines? Okay, so what we'd like Mr. Gaines to tell us now is why is he seeking relief through the pardon and why does he think we should vote for him?
Been 30-some years and call myself a respected member of the community. And I'm over for the last 8 years. I've been running some apartments for my mother-in-law, which we take care of her. She's 90 years old. Her mama, this is my wife for 40 years. I've been married 3 times. Construction work. And I think I just like to be home.
So tell us what happened the day tell us about the manslaughter.
Well, it was a situation in a bar that over a drink, and the owner had me him up in the corner. The fight broke out, had me him up in the corner, and he was beating on me, him and his son, and I shot him.
Okay.
And that's the only way I could get out of that.
All right, well, we're going to ask you some more questions in just a minute. We'd like to hear from the DA's office. Mr. Meyer?
Yes, ma'am. Randall Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. We're opposed to his request for a pardon. There's very strong victim opposition remaining. And, you know, one concerning thing that Mr. Gaines just stated, one thing he just stated bothers me is that, you know, after the fight, he said he shot him, but that was the only way he could get out of there. But he was being escorted out of the bar by Willie, the owner, and he shot him, you know, in very close quarters, and then fired 2 additional shots inside the bar. So those reasons we're opposed to his request.
Thank you. Mr. Gaines's case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Gaines, why did you have a gun on?
Being stupid.
Yeah, I mean, alcohol and guns, that's not too smart. How do you feel about it? I mean, how do you feel about the victim? I mean,
About the what?
the victim, how do you feel about the crime?
About the crime? I feel bad about it. Ain't nothing to be proud about. But while they had me in the corner beating on me and carrying on, I figured it was me or them. I tried to get out there. I begged them to let me out. They wouldn't let me out. They just kept beating on me. So I don't know. Maybe I was better off if they had done me in. I don't know.
Okay, and I see you had you had law enforcement opposition. Of course, we heard from the DA. I have no further questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
How long did you serve?
So 7 was 9 years. I did 4.5 or 5 years in addiction correctional center, different facilities. And I did I think 4.5 years on the street under supervised probation.
How long have you, how many years has it been since you've been released?
About 32, somewhere in there.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Any other questions?
All right, move from the executive session.
We
A
have
second.
Motion by Mr. Freeman, second by Mr. Tillis for executive session to discuss confidential matters. Could we get the roll call, please?
Ms. Renata,
Yes.
Ms. Stapleton,
Yes.
Mr. Prater,
Yes.
Tillis,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
We'll be in executive session for just a few moments. Session, is there any objection? All right, hearing none, we are back in regular session. It is 10:20 and we are prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman will be voting first.
Okay, Mr. Gaines, I'm caught in a big quandary here. It was a long time ago all of this happened, but someone's life was taken. It is a murder. My vote is going to be to deny.
All right, Mr. Tillis,
My vote's gonna be to grant without firearm.
Mrs. Stapleton,
Mr. Gaines, for the same reason that, you just heard, life was taken. And it was a long time ago, but there's a man that was murdered, but also he shot back into the bar 2 times that you could have hit other people. So that was, another reason. So I'm going to deny today.
Mr. Prater.
Deny.
So you didn't get the votes you needed today. You required 4 votes. My vote would be pardon without restoration of firearms. So today, sir, your application's been denied. All right, Mr. Tibido, good morning, sir. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your current mailing address.
So my name is Michael Tibido. Address is 8 Steamboat Bend, Liberia.
Thank you, sir. And you have with you your wife today, Mrs. Elizabeth Tibido. Thanks for coming. So before we start our interview, Mr. Tibido, I need to read some identifying information into the record. So you're here today seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in the 16th Judicial District, Iberia Parish. Let's see, your sentencing date was in July of 2019. So you received a 30-year hard labor sentence for theft over $25,000, a 5-year hard labor sentence suspended, and you received 3 years of active probation, theft of $5,000 to $25,000, 3 years hard labor suspended and placed on 3 years active probation, filing or maintaining false records, 2 counts. Also on that day, 30 months on 6 counts of malfeasance in office, and each of those were running concurrent. Does all that sound accurate? Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Tibido. Why are you here today? What happened, and why are you seeking a pardon with firearms?
I'm here today because I'd like to clear my name and move forward. I was employed with the police office for 35 years. 24 of those I served as a cop. So I'd like to move forward and get my name.
So tell us a little bit about the circumstances. What happened?
Well, the bulk of that is, I did not, there's a statute that says you have to send money to unclaimed property. And I did not send money to unclaimed property. So the bulk of those charges came from that.
All right. I guess we'll get a little more into that. During the interview, your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you answer his question?
Yeah, please explain that a bit more, because I read it and I'm still confused. What did you actually do that violated the law?
I did not send any money to unclaimed property. And in meeting with the CPA and my company, the CPA wanted me to take all these old outstanding checks off the books. So nothing was said about sending money to unclaimed property. I didn't know it was the law because my predecessor did it before me. His predecessor, him, I just followed the protocol or procedure. So so when he came in to do it, we were in a meeting and he decided, my CP, accountant said, well, let's recreate these checks and we'll clear the books, take them off the books. So what I did, we recreated the checks and we transferred the money to the operating account. When I left the clerk's office, we had 1.5 million in reserve. So that's kind of, and then before I started, when all of this came up, we started refunding checks back to all the litigants. It was a procedure that we did, and we refunded quite a bit of checks before I left office. And then after I left office, not after we finished.
And who were they refunded to?
To the litigants, to the attorneys who filed the suits, or an individual who filed the suit, the money was returned back to those parties.
Okay, and what are you doing now?
Right now, I just retired. I was working for Tibido and Sons family business, and I retired about a month ago. I would like to get a real estate license, but unfortunately, I can't do it until I clear my name.
And you do some volunteer work at the nursing home, I see?
I did. I volunteered there for 3 years. When I started working for the nursing home, they were doing everything manually, and I took everything and I put it on QuickBooks for them. They had no computer system, and I transferred everything into a computer system. Yes, I worked there for 3 years.
And I will say that the chief and the judge, chief of police and the judge are unopposed. The sheriff had no comment, and the DA was opposed. And of course, your family's here with you, and they're unopposed. I have no further questions.
Any other questions?
And this money, you say it was refunded back to, you didn't receive any of it, did you?
Not one penny came in my pocket.
So what was the law that was violated?
It says, you're supposed to refund any checks, I don't remember the period of time, might be 3 years that have not cleared. You're supposed to refund it to, or transfer it over to unclaimed property.
But you refunded it to the people.
Originally, though, I got charged because I transferred it over to our operating account. And when legislative auditors started doing the investigation, then we started refunding it back to the litigants. So nobody was auditing at all.
So I'm a little confused when you say y'all recreated the checks. What does that mean?
Through easy account, you can recreate a check, we get stock checks. And what we did, we recreated the same check number and who the check was payable to and the amount.
And the first you say, I think my understanding is the first time you were aware you were supposed to send it to unclaimed property was or during the course of the legislative auditor's investigation?
Yes, ma'am. Because I was just following the procedure that my predecessor did.
And you mentioned you wanted to get a real estate license. Have you applied for one?
Ma'am, I haven't done anything because I need to apply. Because I don't think I can get it.
And you actually completed your full-term sentence March of 2023, is that right?
Ma'am, I did 1.5 months.
But you were still on what we call paper.
Yes, ma'am.
March, I have the date as March 23rd, 2023, when you completed all of that.
I'm not familiar with the date, but it sounds familiar.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions.
Let me ask,
All right.
when was the legislative auditor, when did he come in and audit you?
It was in 2016 when all of this started.
Okay. And when did you correct what he had pointed out to be a deficiency?
When they told me it was okay to start doing it, after they had to complete their investigation, and then they told me I could start doing
In 2016 or
it. I don't remember the exact year, but it was about a year or two out.
okay, and why did it take so long after he pointed it out?
Because I had to wait to get their okay before I could do anything.
Had to give what? I'm
So I
sorry.
had to get legislative auditors okay. They had to do their investigation and complete it before I could do anything.
Okay, all right, that's all.
I was going by their orders.
Okay.
All right. I don't see any other questions. We're prepared to vote.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Thibodeau, my vote today is gonna be to deny due to the fact that you've only been off paper for a couple of years. And the crime happened 2018 is when you were indicted. So we need a little bit more cleansing period. I think you're doing fine, but we need longer than this. My vote is to deny.
Mr. Tillings?
My vote's gonna be to grant.
Mrs. Stapleton?
I agree with Mr. Freeman. The time's not been long enough since it's been on paper.
Mr. Prager?
I concur deny.
All right, Mr. Thibodeau, you did not get the votes you needed today. You needed 4 votes to grant for you to receive a favorable vote. So today, the outcome is that you've been denied your application. But I do want to suggest that you do try to do the real estate license. I believe that could be a discretionary process, and they, they require a hearing for you, but I think that you might have some success there.
What is the period I have to wait?
He'll explain all that to you. We generally like to see a 10-year cleansing period from the time you're off of pay, from the time you finish your sentence. Yeah.
No, well, it's not.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your current mailing address, sir.
And Christopher McCollum, 657 Hollywood Drive, Atlanta, Texas.
And let's see, we have, your wife is on Zoom. If you turn around, you'll see. And we're gonna call on her shortly for her remarks. So Mr. Ricard,
Yes.
is that how you say it? You're here today seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in East Baton Rouge Parish, January of 2003 for access device fraud. Sentencing was deferred and you received a 2-year probation. Is that correct? Okay. So tell us, sir, why are you seeking a pardon with firearms? How did all this come about and why are you seeking a pardon?
I'm seeking a pardon just because it's been a long time happening. Very long.
Can you speak up a bit, sir? We're recording.
I was very naive at the time of that crime. Really changed person from that day to the day. And I just, to get all my rights back, be blessed to stay on here, just face this transgression I was a part of, you know, just turned 18. Very I would continue. I want to be able to have a good life. I really haven't changed. Changed me from that transgression to.
Okay. Well, let's hear from your wife, Ms. Tasha Ricard.
Hello.
Hi.
I've been married to Chris for 15 years. I've been knowing him since he was 15 years old. He's been a leader of our home. He's a great father to our 2 kids, Camden, who is 12, Ariel, who is 4. He is heavily involved in our lives as well as our community. He is a youth soccer coach, which he enjoys very much. And just seeing him grow into the man that he is now, he has matured. He is very family oriented and loving, and he is a good, great pillar in our kids' life, teaching them morals and values. And so I'm definitely proud to see how far he's come. And, when you have God in your life and, all those blessings, you can change. So he's definitely a changed person and not the person that he was when he's was committed.
Thanks for sharing those remarks with us. Mr. Ricard, your case was assigned to Mrs. Stapleton. Would you answer her questions?
Is it Ricard or Richard? Ricard, okay, that's what we got on the screen here. So, what I understand, you said that you were a freshman at Southern University at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it looks like you was, am I correct that you were using credit cards, stealing credit cards, unauthorized?
On other things, studying death, I was using access devices on. I was really good at that. Actually had the card before it was nothing but I just want to apologize to the victim of this crime. Very deeply impactful. And I also have sympathy for this crime pending to do because I've been involved for the next I've come and my things, I'm going to tragedy. Why should I get the cause?
Yes.
And really embarrassed.
Well, the victim has not expressed any opposition towards you. You should know that. And also, my understanding is you paid restitution. Is that correct? Yes, sir. See. So there is no opposition against you. So that should make you feel better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're asking for a pardon without the restoration of arms, am I correct? Without the restoration of arms, no firearms?
Yeah, I'm asking for restoration.
Oh, here it says without, but you do want restoration of firearms. Okay, so why do you need the firearms?
Just, I'm outdoors and just be able to eat. My mom lives in me, going outdoors. Also taking myself and my family. Just be able to be full of vision for all my life, having life, everything else. It's just, it's only right now. So, you know, it's just a lesson. Thank you, grace for the, it would have things.
Well, it's been 25 years since you had any problems with law enforcement, and also none of those involved firearms. So, I don't have any further questions.
What about the aggravated battery that you were charged with in 2009? Was that any weapons involved in that?
Yes.
All right, there it is. In 2002, there was an arrest in Baton Rouge. I see it was dismissed. Possession of marijuana and possession of a firearm with a controlled dangerous substance. What was that all about?
That I was at the ball places a long time. Nothing, the ball just was a video game. I was there. Nothing in my possession, nothing in my person. Just
You were just there, everybody.
being a follower, they were just a person. I just was a follower. And I believe in me. That's all those.
There's another indication in 2006, possession of hydrocodone. Is that familiar? No, it's on the record, but it doesn't indicate if there's any disposition. You don't know about it. All right. Any other questions? All right. I think we're prepared to vote. Here's a statement.
Mr. Ricard, today I'm going to vote for you for pardon with restoration of firearms.
Mr. Prater,
I concur.
Mr. Freeman,
No victim opposition. I vote also as pardon with restorations of firearms.
and Mr. Tillis.
You went to Southern?
Yes, my parents was.
You should have went to Grambling. Grant. With restoration of firearms.
And I do agree. So, Mr. Ricard will make that recommendation on your behalf. Good luck to you, sir. Morning, ma'am. Could you introduce yourself, tell us your name and your mailing address?
My name is Bianca Kennedy with the case. 73 Billstone Road, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70126.
Thank you. And we have your daughter, Deonta Julian, Deontay Julian, and your mother, Miss Wilma Ellis. And so your mother's indicated she'd like to speak, and we'll hear from her shortly. Let me first just read some identifying information into the record, ma'am. So you're here today seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in Orleans Parish, January 2018. Negligent homicide was the crime. You received a 5-year sentence that was suspended and you were placed on active probation for 5 years. Is that correct? I'm sorry?
I did like a year and 7 months.
On probation? Okay, so then you finished early.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you finished in 2019. Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm going to just turn it over. Well, first, let's hear from your, we're going to ask you some questions shortly, but we'd like to hear from your mother first. We'd like to hear what Miss Wilma wants to say about you. Does she want to speak? It indicates she wants to speak. No? All right, well, we'll just jump right into it, Mr. Prater. Okay, that's all right.
Mr. Kennedy, how are you today? Good. I'm just gonna refuse personally to go into any questions about this crime. You don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to hear about it. And so you can take that off your mind as far as I'm concerned. My only problem with granting you this is the length of time since this has occurred. I know you want to get it off your plate, hoping this is going to make you feel better. And I want to do that, but I'm just not ready to yet myself, but I don't have any questions.
All right.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, I see that in 2005, you were arrested for solicitation for murder. What did they accuse you for that?
That was, I've been going through domestic violence with my kid's father for years. And that was just a charge that he put on me. He called a detective he knew, and the next thing I knew, I was being arrested.
Okay, and also public intimidation, so you must have had a little argument with the cop. In the aggravated battery in 97, that was still with the same person?
It was with the same person,
Okay.
but we had never even had contact when I had that charge. I was at my house. I never knew anything. They just came knocking on what he did. He stole my bed. I found the car and I picked up the car. The next thing I knew was the charge, but they didn't tell me till I got it.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Any other questions? Let me just say for the record that your daughter is here in support today and she is a victim. Is that correct? Okay. I don't think we have. Is there anything else you want us to know? What would you like us to know?
Well, just the situation in itself is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, trying to move forward is affecting a lot from me. That was part of the reason for me when I've done some programs as well. I did some programs. I've done the rehabilitation program. I did a few sessions with the social worker and everything. It's just me trying to really move forward to do better than where I am, because it is a problem with me getting better employment as well.
Are you currently employed?
Actually, I am employed.
Where do you work?
I work for the civil court system. I'm a data entry clerk for the civil.
And so this process you believe would help you do a little better in that way?
Yeah.
All right, I don't see any other questions by my colleagues, so I believe we're prepared to vote.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd
I'd
like
like to go into executive session.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Freeman for executive session. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Tillis. Could you do the roll call?
Ms. Renata,
Yes.
Ms. Stapleton,
Yes.
Mr. Prater,
Yes.
Mr. Tillis,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
So we'll stand by. We'll be right back. We're going to be in executive session to discuss confidential matters.
Chief Bell.
Oh my, today?
Oh, shoot. Chief Bell, I took my ankle, you signed it.
Oh my goodness. You all right? Did they?
I got the thing.
So I'll make a motion to go back in regular
Second.
session. It's seconded by Mr. Freeman. Any objection? We're back in regular session at 10:56. And Ms. Kennedy, we are prepared to vote. Mr. Prater will be voting first.
Yes, ma'am. I was prepared because of the length of time to deny and ask you to come back in a few years and let us know. But after hearing and reading and knowing a story like it is, so tragic and it was so unintentional, that my vote is going to be to recommend to the governor to grant without restoration of firearms at this time.
Mr. Freeman?
Mine's gonna be the same. I'm gonna vote to grant without the restoration of firearms. It was a very tragic event. And you know, and if you want your firearm right back, come back a little later, because it hadn't happened that long. So, but my vote is to grant without, firearms.
Mr. Tiller?
My vote also is to grant without firearm.
Mrs. Stapleton?
I concur with Mr. Freeman and Mr. Prater.
My vote also is the same, to make the recommendation for a pardon, but without restoration of firearms at this time. So good luck to you, ma'am. Okay. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Creasy.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Would you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and your current mailing address.
Good afternoon, members of the parole board. My name is Daryl Cesy, and my current mailing address is 16.
Mr. Creasy?
Good afternoon. How are you? Is there
Somebody must have YouTube running in the background. Does somebody have the YouTube running in the background on another device? All right. I guess we turned it off. So repeat it, Mr. Creasy. Your what is your mailing address?
1613 Center Street, Arabi, Louisiana, 70032.
All right, and your wife, Miss Cherish Kenner, is also on Zoom with us. Are y'all in the same location?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have a colleague who's not been able to sign in yet. Is it Dr. Gross?
Yes, he actually had a flight to catch, so he will likely not be joining us right now.
Oh, all right. Well, he did check in, but we just so you know. So Mr. Creasy, you're here seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in June 2013 for simple robbery. You received a 5-year DOC sentence that was suspended and you were placed on 5 years of intensive probation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So why don't you tell us, sir, why are you seeking a pardon with firearms, and how did you get in that trouble?
So if I may have an opportunity to just speak with you to express my remorse and share the steps that I've taken toward my rehabilitation, and explain why I believe I'm ready to rejoin society as a full citizen with full rights. First and foremost, I take full responsibility for my actions that led to my incarceration. I deeply regret the harm I caused to the victims in my community, and there's no excuse for what I did. And since I have spent every day working to become a productive and responsible citizen to contribute to society in a positive way. To those people, their families, and the community, I am truly sorry. During my time in prison, I've committed myself to change and doing all the right things to not return to prison. Day 1, I stressed about being there, and by day 2, I made a vow to never return. So once I got the opportunity, I enrolled in school, and while I had a high school diploma, I became a tutor in the school and found that to be a positive, engaging, and useful expenditure of my time there. I established an agreement with the instructor to help folks during class with assignments and homework, and even tutored through 2 GED testing courses while I directly helped a handful of students obtain their GED while they were in prison. That program was essential in cultivating my passion for helping folks, and I left prison with that passion. While in prison, I maintained a clean disciplinary record, and upon leaving prison, I paid my restitution in full and had no issues with my parole officer, even getting off parole several months early and prayerfully not returning to jail or getting arrested. So if granted parole, I plan to continue my decade plus of successes as a productive full rights member of society by living happily with my wife and family in our home, continuing to be a model citizen as a college advisor and a pillar of my community by advocating for fathers and families, making positive impacts on the people in my community. My family, my friends, and mentors are fully supportive and hold me accountable. I understand the seriousness of parole, and I will strictly follow every condition just as I did with my probation. I am not the same person I was when I committed this offense. Prison has taught me hard lessons, but it's also given me the tools to change, and I humbly ask for a chance to restore myself. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Sir, well prepared. Now, you've used the term parole, but this is the pardon process. So that's a distinctive and different process that requires the governor's approval. You understand that, correct?
I do understand that.
Okay. And so let's hear from your wife, Ms. Kenner. What would you like to tell us about your husband?
Good morning, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'll do this without getting emotional. My name is Cherishkena Creasy, and I'm here today to respectfully request that you consider granting a pardon to my husband, Daryl Cesy. I 100% understand the gravity of this situation. A pardon is a powerful act of mercy and justice, and I don't take this moment lightly. I'm here because I believe with all my heart that my husband is a man who has learned from his past, who has changed, and who deserves a second chance. He made a mistake wholeheartedly, and he has taken full responsibility for his actions, and he does not shy away from the consequences that he did face. He served his sentence and complied with all terms of his supervision, but most importantly, he has taken time since then to reflect deeply and grow into a man of integrity and accountability. He has never made excuses, and he has showed genuine remorse in not only his words, but his actions. Since his release, he's devoted himself to rebuilding his life, not just for himself, but for his family and his community. He currently works as a college advisor with the national nonprofit College Track, where he serves as a mentor to students who are fighting that good college fight to earn their degrees, many of them who are first-generation college students. I've had the pleasure to see him interact with those students, and they adore his jovial personality and his dedication to them. Hearing the stories about the plight of his students and seeing them walk across the stage in spite of any of the challenges that they face in college and life inspires me as well daily to keep pushing. He also serves as the executive director of the Fatherhood Initiative program, Fathers Matters. The organization recently participated in the legislative session where SCR 9 was signed, tasking Louisiana as the third state in this country to institute a fatherhood task force. He shows up every day in both of those roles with pride and discipline. He's not just working a job, but he has built his life rooted in responsibility. He's the first person to step up when someone needs help, whether it's our elderly neighbor across the street who can't find her car keys and she lives alone, a dad struggling to find his footing on way in parenting, or just in life in general. He shows up, he listens, and he encourages. He truly is a man of purpose, and at home, he is the cornerstone of our family. He's a present and loving husband and a committed uncle and father. His children and our nieces and nephews look up to him. They see value in him, his growth, his redemption, and what it means when you overcome your mistakes. They don't get to see the person who made that mistake. They see the man who now owns it, who's rose from it, and who gives all to being his better every day. We're asking for this pardon not to erase what happened, but to finally close a chapter that in a way reflects the man that he is today, not who he was. The consequences of a criminal record linger long after the sentence is over. A pardon would give him access to opportunities that his work ethic and character deserve. It would restore his full rights as a citizen, and it would show our future children that redemption is not only possible, but it is real and recognized. To see the full journey of the man who stumbled, stood back up, and never stopped striving to do right, I ask personally that you please consider granting him a pardon for not what he's overcome, but for what he continues to contribute every single day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Creasy, your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. Would you answer any questions he may have?
Yes, I can.
How you doing this morning?
Pretty good, Mr. Tillman. How about you?
Good. How many kids do you have?
2.
2. How old were they when you were incarcerated?
So my daughter was probably around 10, my son 8.
Okay, so you admit to the crime.
So I admitted to the crime to be able to get out to see them. Quite honestly, their mother did a wonderful job of bringing them to visit every week. And every single week after so many months, I could not take having them ask me when I'm getting out or, when can we go out and do this play, bring me here, bring me food, that kind of thing. So,
Okay. I read your file. I went through it, and you've done well, really well. There was only one question that I had was, you said you didn't participate in the crime, and then your opening statement, you said you apologized for it. And I'm just trying to find out you did it or you didn't do it.
So I admit that I was, what's the word? I was associating with some folks who I should not have been associating with. And at the time, I was involved in some things that I should not have been involved in, and this crime was one of them.
Did you do the crime?
I did not do the crime.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have.
So you saying that she misidentified you?
My experience with going through the paperwork in court, the witness testimonies and also the police reports, that was a strong possibility, misidentification.
Any other questions?
I'm sorry?
No, I just was asking my colleagues if there's any other question. If Dr. Grow could be here, what would he say about you?
That's a wonderful question. He likely echoed the sentiments of my wife. We have been colleagues for almost a decade now doing fatherhood work. But prior to us being colleagues, he was actually the psychiatrist for my son. Shortly after I got out of prison, I got the opportunity to have my children full time, and that was such a big shift. So I felt like I needed therapies, and I also figured they would need therapy since it was such an immediate shift in our lives. So both of my children had a therapist of their own, and Dr. Gross was my son's therapist. So I mean, he also has a perspective of seeing me grow as a person, as a father, and I think he would definitely say that he is quite impressed with the person that I was to the person that I've become. And then similar to what my wife mentioned around, just having that restorative, full citizen, full rights opportunity to embrace the person that I am currently and the future person that I could be.
All right, thank you. I don't see any other questions. Mr. Tillis, you ready to vote?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think you've done very well. I read through your file and I commend you on what you've done. My vote today is going to be to grant.
Pardon, with firearms?
With firearms.
Mrs. Singleton?
My vote today is gonna be to grant pardon without the firearm because the robbery involved a firearm. And secondly, I agree with everything Mr. Tillis said, except that your answers seem so doggone vague. When anybody was asking you, did you commit the crime? You were saying you read all the paperwork, and it was like almost you were saying, if I don't think they can identify me, even if I did it, I'm not going to admit it. So, but still in all, with all that you've accomplished in your life since that time, I think you've done very well for yourself and for the community. So mine will be to pardon without firearms.
Mr. Prater?
My vote is to deny. I still don't know if you did it or not. I don't see how you can be remorseful for your actions and be rehabilitated and then still say that you didn't do it. I'm confused because I don't think we've really gotten the truth out of it as far as what goes. So my vote would be to deny.
Mr. Freeman?
My vote is going to be to grant without firearm. And it's just, I mean, I have a lot of concerns about you denying it also, but you've done very well since you've been out, whether you've done it or not.
All right, Mr. Creasy, my vote today would be to deny for the same reasons that and concerns that Mr. Prater had. So today, sir, your application for clemency has been denied. Good luck to you, sir.
All right. Thank you all.
All right, there she is. Good morning, ma'am. I guess we're still morning, yes. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and current mailing address.
Good morning. My name is JAMASHA DELCAMBRE. My mailing address is 1120 Tupelo Street, New Iberia, Louisiana, 70560.
All right, and you're here today, Ms. Delcambre, seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You have a, let's see, you were sentenced in October 2010 for principal to simple robbery. You received a 3-year DOC hard labor sentence that was suspended, and you were placed on 3 years of supervised probation. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell us, Ms. Delcambre, why are you seeking, how did you get convicted of that, and why are you seeking relief?
So I got convicted of it because my daughter's dad, we was together at the time. He called me for a ride early in the morning. It was the morning that he was supposed to go work in the cane field with Mr. Lester, who's no longer here. And he called for a ride saying they didn't go because it was muddy. So I went to get him, pulled up over there, I got him, he got in the car. I pulled off from there, and the police put their lights on. So I'm thinking it's a seatbelt ticket. Get pulled over. I'm telling them they could search the car, everything. I'm like, what did you do? So they telling us to get out the car. He's still in the car. So I got out the car. I got my hands in the air because at this point it's more than a traffic pullover because it's too many police at this point. So he's still in the car. So I'm out the car. They took us, I let them search. I gave them permission to search the car. They took us to jail. I seen him in jail when I was on my way to court. He was like, don't cop out, but I didn't know what cop out was. So I got a newborn baby at home and another child. And you're saying don't cop out. So when I got to court, they asked me if I wanted probation. I said, yeah. I didn't care what it was if I was going home that day. It had been like 2 months in jail. My bond was high, so I was like, yeah, if I'm going home, so I took probation. So when he ended up getting out, he was like, I told you not to cop out. They dropped those charges on me. First of all, I didn't know what cop out was. I'm 17 years old. So I'm like, I didn't know what cop out meant in the first place. So cop out means don't take a plea. But that's the first thing I did when I got in the courtroom. They offered me probation. When they said home today, I was like, oh yeah, you can't go wrong taking probation. So I took it. But I didn't know it was this hard to get it off your record or this. I didn't know how serious the charge was. I just took it to go home. And he got it dismissed, but I didn't have no regrets at the time because I said, okay, I'm going home. That don't sound bad after 2 months being in jail.
All right. So your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you answer his question?
Okay, Ms. Delcambre, now I read your report fully, and the instant offense I think went down pretty much as you stated it went down. What's real concerning to me is what's happened since then. What was the direct contempt of court, and they sentenced you to 60 days? What did you do?
My ex-boyfriend and I went to court. He had a used car lot, and we started financing, and we went to court for a car where they didn't pay their note. So at the end of court, he asked me to come bring him get the car. So we had an altercation with the customers that had to give the car back. So we started fighting in the courthouse. After we started fussing, like the 17-year-old girl, she jumped on me because she was like, y'all not getting nothing back. But the judge with the used car dealers, like the judge said, they don't have time getting in the middle of used car dealers financing cars to people because they have other more important things going on in the courtroom than us going in there with financing cars to people that we probably know from jump not going to pay the note. So It started a big old fuss in the courthouse, and we ended up fighting, and everybody went to jail.
Okay, and then in 2018, you had a domestic abuse, battery, aggravated assault. What was that about?
That was with the same person. That was with the same person. I called the cops and told him he was fighting me, and he said she hit me too, and we both went to jail.
Okay, and was it with the same person in 2015?
That was the same person.
That was the same person too?
Mhm.
Okay, all right, have you done any community service work? Do you
If I can remember right, I may have did community service in the past.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions?
I have no questions.
All right, I don't see any other questions, Ms. Delcambre. I think we're prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman.
Yeah, like I said, the instant offense doesn't concern me as much as what has all went on since then. Due to your criminal history and violence on the rap sheet, my vote is to deny.
Mr. Tillis.
My vote's to grant with restoration of firearms.
Thank you.
My vote is to deny due to your violent criminal history.
Mr. Prager.
Deny, concur.
All right, Ms. Delcambre, you didn't get the votes you needed today to have a favorable decision. So today, your application for clemency has been denied. You'll have an opportunity to reapply at another date. We'll inform you when you can do that, but good luck to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Miles, good afternoon. Sir,
Good afternoon.
well, it's not quite there yet, not for us at least. Would you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and mailing address.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Terrence Miles. My mailing address is 8850 Fair Oaks Crossing, number 1016, Dallas, Texas, 75243.
Yeah, so you're still on our time zone. It's not, yeah. All right, Mr. Miles, you're here today seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in Ouachita Parish in December 1993, possession with intent to distribute Schedule II cocaine and distribution of cocaine. You received a 6-year sentence that was suspended and you were placed on 5 years active probation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell us about that, sir. Tell us why you're seeking a pardon.
Do you want to know about how it
Yes. Yes.
how it started or the exact incident?
Just tell us the circumstances.
Well, basically, in 1989, 90, I was going to Southern University. And, you know, my mom sent me there to go to school, but I was broke. I didn't have any money, but I was working an intramural job and I was getting like $125 a month. So on my Christmas break, I went back home to Monroe and I noticed all my friends were having new cars and a lot of money. And I was like, man, I'm down here broke. And so, you know, things just stuck in my mind. I went back to school, but the next semester I ended up transferring from Southern University to Northeast Louisiana University. Now I'm back in Monroe. Now I see my friends every day. Now I'm hanging out with them every day after class. Then eventually I stopped going to class and I just started hanging with them. Then eventually I thought about maybe I could make some money too. And that's where it all went downhill. Now, the incident that happened was that I was out one night and I think I caught a cab back to the neighborhood and I was hungry and I was walking to the convenience store on the corner and a guy I know, an older guy, he stopped me and he said, T, I've been out here all night. I don't got, you know, this, that, and man, please help me. And I told him no. I was like, no, I'm just getting home. I'm finna go to sleep. He was like, man, please help me. So I gave it to him. I say, you know this person? He said, yeah. He left. I went to the store. Before I made it to the store, it turned around. He sold it to he sold it to a narcotic agent, and then they came back around and got me. And that's how it happened.
Okay. Why are you seeking a pardon?
Because that all happened when I was 19 years old. I'm 54 years old now. Had an entirely new life. Actually, I left Louisiana after that incident. Haven't been back since. I've actually lived in Texas longer than I've lived in Louisiana. So the things that go on, I live in a metroplex of 9 million people. If I get pulled over for a speeding ticket, they run my background, they pull this case up. So now my speeding ticket turns into get out, what's in the car, this, that, and the other, you know, every time. And then on top of that, an incident that happened, I've had someone broken in my house before, like 5 years ago. And so I moved to a different part of the city. And a year ago, in the apartments I live in now, some illegal immigrants murdered a woman and their 2 children a couple buildings down from me. So I haven't had a firearm my whole life. And sometimes you got to think about, I sit in here and think about, like, what if somebody kicks my door in? What am I going to do? I got a butcher knife, or I could jump out the back door, but I just want to have the right to be able to defend my home or myself.
Okay. All right, your case has been assigned to Mr. Prater. Would you answer any questions?
Good morning. How are you? I think it's still
I'm
morning.
doing fine, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, do you drink now?
do I drink now? No, sir.
Okay. Sounded a little tentative. Okay. Let me ask you, I see where you got a DWI in 1992, 1995, a second one in 95, one in 2006, one in 2011, and you got a second offense in 2021 in Richardson, Texas. 2021.
2021, that case was dismissed because of a racial profiling aspect of the case, and the officer didn't want to show because they had it on tape of what he did and why he pulled me over, and that was thrown out. Now, everything else that the ones you said, yes, sir. When I was young, I had a drinking problem. I mean, I just drink and, I think one or two was maybe in Baton Rouge. I came down there after Katrina to work. I used to go to the casino and play poker and, just didn't keep up with how much I was drinking and then go home and then got pulled over. So, but I went through all of the programs, everything that they put me, all of the programs they assigned to me. I completed them all. I did all the Alcoholic Anonymous programs. I did community service at homeless shelters. So, yes, I admit that growing up, I started drinking. I got started drinking when I was like 9 years old by older people in my neighborhood. And it took me a long time to get over it.
I'm still concerned about this 2021 DWI. What does that paper say that's in front of you? You didn't supply that to us.
Oh, I don't know if, did I say? I could read it to you if you like.
Well, yes, sir. How long is it?
Oh, no, one paragraph.
Okay, read it to me.
All right, case number M2145791, the state of Texas versus Terrence Miles, motion to dismiss. Now comes the District Attorney of Dallas County, Texas, and asks the court to dismiss the above entitled and numbered case cause for the following reason to wit. On Tuesday, May 2nd, 2022, a suppression hearing was scheduled before Judge Nancy Mulder in County Criminal Court number 4 in the aforementioned case. The court denied the state's request for a motion to continue this case. As such, the state will be unable to present a prima facie case due to unavailability of Officer Ward. Wherefore, premises considered, it is respectfully requested that this case be dismissed. Signed, Assistant District Attorney, Dallas, Texas, Dallas County. I can't read the signature. Assistant District Attorney Ed Hartwell, it looks like, and Criminal Court Judge Nancy Mulder. The foregoing motion is hereby granted on May 3rd, 2022.
Okay. It doesn't say anything about racial profiling. It just says the officer didn't show up in court.
Yeah, because he didn't show up because when they saw the body camera, but what he did, he passed me and I had my window down. And then he looked over at me and then he slowed down and then got behind me and pulled me over. And when they saw that, they were going to ask him, why did you pass him, then slow down? And he didn't want to answer those questions. That's why he didn't show up.
Okay, well, that's your word, and I'm not saying that's wrong. Okay. I'm saying that's not written down on the piece of paper you got.
Yeah, he didn't show it.
No, sir, that's not written down. What, did they do a blood test on you or a breath test, or did you refuse it?
I refused it because I didn't feel like he should have pulled me over.
Okay, you got to understand, we're here not to seek justice, right or wrong, or whether he should pull you over. We're here to determine, or I'm here, my job It's to determine if you're gonna be a danger to the public, or if your behavior has changed, or if you need to pardon and all that. And to be charged with DWI, then normally you have to have some, redness of the eyes. You have to have stumbling when they do the field sobriety test, or the test with your eyes and all of that, and in order to book you. So I'm wondering, were you drinking is what I'm saying.
No, sir. That's what the whole thing was, that I refused it because I felt I was getting violated. I've gotten violated in my life by the police. I've got hit by a police car. I've had the police steal my money. I have things happen to me. So I had a aggravation. And it was none of that. No swerving, no speeding, no nothing. It was nothing to come into my space and affect me. So yeah, I mean that's just how I felt that night.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Did you ever take any AA or NA meetings?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've done all that. I went to the farthest, well, I don't know, almost 2 years of coins.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that in Baton Rouge, the deal I had in Baton Rouge, they transferred it in Dallas. I did everything in Dallas and then had to come back to court in Baton Rouge. And my probation officer vouched for everything, all the paperwork, everything that I had to prove and show to her.
Okay, so when was the last time you had a drink?
The last time I had a drink, it's maybe been close to 2.5 or no, close to 3.5 years.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Any other questions? I don't see any other questions, Mr. Miles. I think we're prepared to vote, Mr. Prater.
Hadn't had a drink in 3.5 years. So that, and you got 5, 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DWIs.
I knew I had a drinking problem. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, since this arrest. My vote's to deny.
Mr. Freeman,
My vote is also to deny criminal history.
Mr. Tillis,
My vote is to grant, with, restoration of firearm.
Ms. Stapleton,
My vote is gonna be to deny based upon, the criminal history involving the DWIs also.
So, Mr. Miles, you didn't get the necessary votes to have a favorable decision today. So the outcome today is that your application for pardon has been denied, sir. Good luck to you.
Oh, thank you. No problem.
All right.
Hello? Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Are you driving?
I just stopped, I pulled over.
Okay, good. I just don't want you to be driving. We'll try to be efficient with your time. So, Mr. Woodard, would you introduce yourself and tell us your current mailing address?
Yes, my name is Travis Woodard. My address is 4239 Anderson Woods Drive, Jacksonville, Florida, 32218.
All right. Mr. Woodard, you're seeking today a pardon with restoration of firearms. You have a sentencing date, which was back in 1982. In Terrebonne Parish, you received a 1 year for theft, a 1 year hard labor sentence that was suspended, and you were placed on a year of probation. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell us about that incident. What happened and why are you seeking a pardon?
Well, I was young. Well, I call it young and dumb, but I was young back then, and I was working at a store and was stealing stuff, games and stuff like that. And just something happened. But since then, I joined the military. It's just a lot of stuff now. I mean, it's like I just trying to get a pardon because like I didn't realize it was actually on my record until I started applying for like law enforcement and stuff like that jobs when I got out of the military.
Well, your case is assigned to Mr. Prater. Would you answer any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir.
What
have you been arrested for since then?
Nothing, sir.
What were you arrested for before then?
For theft.
And how long has it been since your arrest?
I think it was like about 42, 43 years. It happened when I was 17.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
I don't either. Me neither, and thank you for your service. I see you had active
Thank
duty
you.
in the Navy, 1988 to 2008, National
Yes,
Guard
ma'am.
prior to that, 84 to 88. So thank you, sir. We don't have
You're
any
welcome.
questions. We'll be ready to vote unless there's something else you want to tell us.
No, ma'am.
All right, good, smart. Mr. Prater?
I vote to recommend that we grant with restoration of power.
Mr. Freeman?
I concur. I think you've had a very substantial cleansing period.
Mr. Tillis?
My vote is to grant with restoration of firearms.
Mrs. Stapleton?
My vote is to grant with restoration of firearms, and I agree. Thank you for your service. My son retired from the Navy, and he was in the National Guard also.
So, Mr. Woodard, I concur. My vote also is to make the recommendation for a pardon with restoration of firearms. So we're going to make that recommendation on your behalf to the governor. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you guys. Oh, that was it.
Let's see, Mr. Perkins? Would you, sir, Mr. Perkins, would you introduce yourself, tell us your name and your mailing address?
My name is Ryan Perkins. My mailing address is 7712, Unit 9211, Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia, 23505.
All right, so it is afternoon for you.
It is. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And you have your attorney. Would you introduce yourself for the record?
Hey, good morning. My name is Kerry Hill. I'm counsel for Mr. Ryan Perkins. How's everyone today?
And I see you have some other folks that are with you. I don't have my sheet. So let me ask do y'all have a sheet on? Just stand by. While we're waiting on that, I want to recognize the folks that have joined you. She's printing it out for me. Let me just read some identifying information into the record. Thank you. Oh, I got it. So we have your daughter, Michaela Perkins, your wife, Tamika Perkins, and Akira. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Akira Perkins, your daughter. And we'll be calling on them at the appropriate time to speak. First, Mr. Perkins, I'm going to read some identifying information into the record. We'll have you make your statement. We'll hear from your family members. And then we'll ask your lawyer for his remarks before we start our interview. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're here, Mr. Perkins, seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced August 2005 in Caddo Parish for possession of Schedule 2. You received an 18-month active probation sentence. It says the conviction was set aside, the charge was dismissed later and has been expunged. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you want to make your statement now? Tell us, or we want you to make your statement now. Tell us, how did you get involved in that activity and why are you seeking relief?
So I was pulled over, leaving a house party. The police officers subsequently searched the vehicle, found cocaine, arrested me. I went to former Sheriff Prater's hotel, spent a few nights there, learned some hard lessons, was able to take some time to focus, learn more about myself, about who I wanted to be as an adult. I had made some bad decisions in my adolescence, in a pursuit to escape poverty. But this is right around the time I was approaching adulthood. And I took some time to think about who I wanted to be as a man. And I set that in stone in my mind and in my heart. And I spent the next 20 years becoming that man who I designed during those days.
We'll have some more questions for you in a minute, but let's hear from your wife, Ms. Tamika Perkins. What would you like us to know about?
Hello. So I have heard the stories about the trouble he got into growing up, but I'll be honest, I don't know that person. The man I met in college has always been focused, determined, and had goals. One of our first conversations out of class was actually when he invited me to church. So that moment kind of told me a lot about him, as he was a man of faith and a man of God, a man who wanted to share with others. Not long after we got married, he became a licensed youth minister. And here we are 15 years later after we've gotten married, and his character hasn't changed at all. Over the years, I've watched him be a giver, a mentor, a friend, a comedian. When people need a laugh, and a father figure not only to his kids, but any child that's been in need of one. I've seen him take late night calls to talk to young people, old people, various demographics who are struggling. I've watched him show up for friends and family without hesitation. Whether it was to fix something, encourage someone, he's just always present. His commitment to serving people, not just in ministry, but in life, has always been apparent. And Beyond that, since I've met him, he's gained his master's degree in cybersecurity. He's been a defense contractor at Balad Air Force Base over in Iraq. Those are roles that require skill, dedication, sacrifice. He's never hesitated. Again, he is a giver. He has also started a company, All Dry Services of Norfolk. It's a remediation company where he's able to now provide service to our community as well as hire individuals. His team right now is young adults who he mentors. And so I think that's who my husband is. That's the man that I know. The man that is sitting here today is not defined by his mistakes. He's defined, in my opinion, by the people that he has helped. And so I just respectfully and sincerely request his full restoration of rights. And I hope you guys feel the same.
Ma'am. Well said. So, Michaela, what would you like us to know?
Hi, I'm a little nervous, so just bear with me. So, there are a lot of things that I do want and have to say, but I'm not sure if there are enough words or time that I have in this lifetime to fully explain the kind of father, man, husband, friend, colleague, mentor, teacher, uncle, brother, and role model that my father is. Before I tell you about the kind of man that he is, I want to share a little bit about myself. I am the daughter of Ryan Perkins. I have a high school diploma, 2 associate's degrees, and I'm currently completing my bachelor's degree in psychology at one of Louisiana's most prestigious colleges, Centenary. I'm 19 years old. I love to swim, play sports, and spend time with the people I love. I'm strong, courageous, confident, and empowered. Now, you may be wondering why she's talking about herself, but the answer is very simple. I'm a reflection of my father. Who I am today is not solely the result of my own doing, but of my father's guidance and of the way God has worked through him to lead, shape, and support me. Ever since I was a little girl, I was emotional, like many kids are. Small things could set me off, someone stepping on my toe or my toothbrush falling on the floor, and I would feel completely defeated. I wasn't great at fixing things on my own back then, but I always knew who could. Call my dad. Anything went wrong, call my dad. Didn't know what to do, call my dad. Need to fix something, physically or emotionally, call my dad. He has always been my refuge. To this day, even though he's raised me to take accountability, to fix my own mistakes, to make wise decisions, and to walk with grace, I'm still that little girl at heart. The problems have just changed. So now it's, Dad, I just got pulled over. What do I do? Dad, I need to apply for a credit card. How does that work? Actually, Dad, what even is credit? Dad, my friend and I got into a disagreement. How do I fix that? Dad, I had a really hard day. Can we talk? The way that I carry myself, the way that I move, the way I navigate life with strength and grace, that's because of my father and because of God. To say that he deserves a pardon is an understatement to me. He's not just a man who made a change, he's a man who became the change. A man who got out of a city that tried to limit his growth, a man who turned his life around, who built a better future, not just for himself, but for everyone he loves. A protector, a provider, and a presence. So, no, I don't believe he just deserves it. I do believe that he has earned it. And I pray that you guys see that and believe that as well. So, thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Akira, what would you like us to know?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akira Perkins, and I'm here to speak on behalf of my father, Ryan Perkins, in support of his petition for a pardon. I'm here not only as his daughter, but as someone who has witnessed firsthand the changes he has made in his life and the man he is today. My father made mistakes in the past. He has never denied responsibility for those actions and has always accepted the consequences. But that chapter of his life does not define who he is today. Since that time, he has completely turned his life around. He has not had any further issues with the law. In fact, he's become a contributing and respected member of our community. He now owns and operates his own business, providing jobs and services to others. He takes pride in honest work and in being a role model for his family and others who are trying to rebuild their lives. What stands out most to me is his integrity, his work ethic, and his commitment to doing right. He's the kind of person who shows up for others, whether that's family, employees, or people in need. He lives with humility and accountability. A pardon will not erase the past, but it will reflect the progress and redemption that has come since. It will give him the opportunity to fully move forward, free from the weight of a record that no longer reflects the man he is today. I respectfully ask that you consider this positive path he's taken and grant him this chance. Thank you for your time, for hearing my words, and for the work you do in reviewing these petitions with care.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Hill, what would you like to say to us before we start our interview?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And I'm just thankful for this opportunity to come before the Board of Pardons. I look at it as a privilege to come before you all on behalf of Mr. Ryan Perkins. I think as his counsel, of course, my argument would be in his favor, but I think just the application itself, it shows Mr. Perkins is an exemplary candidate for a pardon and full restoration of rights. He in 2007, when he was finally discharged from DLC, he's shown sustained reformation of his character, right? And the reason why I bring up reformation of character is because, as the board is familiar with, our criminal justice system have aims, right? And one of those aims is reformation. We reform criminal behavior, things that are contrary to our laws in our state. That's what it's there for, right? We pay the penalty. Also, it's there for deterrence. And I just think that everything in Mr. Perkins' life that has happened since his conviction, it shows exactly that. He's been reformed. He's been deterred from criminal behavior. He's a 40-year-old man now. The offense that we're here requesting a pardon for, he's 21 or 22 at the time this occurred. So that's approximately 18 to 20 years ago. I think since then, he's not only fulfilled all his legal obligations, but he's also become a highly educated individual and productive member of society. He has multiple degrees, namely, which I'm sure the board is familiar with. He has a master's in cybersecurity. It's a very fast-growing segment of our society, which I think Mr. Perkins could contribute more if this board were to grant his request. He's a responsible family man, as the board already have seen. His daughters have come to testify on his behalf. He's met all financial obligations. He's current on all financial obligations. He contributes to his community. I would just stop there and just mention Mr. Perkins volunteers with a program called Be My Eyes. And that's volunteer work for remote reading access to people who are blind. So he's been participating in that program for some years now, and I think he's doing well in that. Just to sum up, granting this pardon, it would acknowledge Mr. Perkins' significant growth. It would allow him to fully participate in his passion for hunting and being an outdoorsman. And just like most Louisianians, even though he lives in Virginia, he's still a sportsman at heart. I pray the board would grant this pardon with full restoration of rights. And I thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So, Mr. Perkins, your case was assigned to Mrs. Stapleton. Would you answer her question?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Perkins, well, of course, you spoke very well, and your attorney just spoke very well, but your daughter spoke very eloquently and lovingly about your father. That's a testament to the man you are also. Your wife, she did the same thing. It seems like when you went to jail, it was a hard, cold lesson that gave you an epiphany. And I've heard this before, people who, they did that. I don't care if it was alcohol, drugs, whatever. It was a wake-up call that they listened to, and they said to themselves, I will never be in this situation again. And they meant it, and they did it.
That's right.
I'm one of those people to me. You woke up in a situation that you didn't want any part of, and you decided at that moment you wouldn't have any more problems with that life. Your life is, you went on to get your master's degree, like you said, in cybersecurity. I mean, that's an up and coming field that everybody's looking into. And just heard about today about Be My Eyes. People who can't see, that's a wonderful thing. And you have excellent community service, excellent family relationships. You had many support letters. I didn't see any opposition against you. When it happened, you did plead guilty. You paid your restitution and you did your time with no problems with it. like you said, reformation is what it's about, and you're talking this out. I don't have any other questions.
Any other questions?
Yeah, the Freighter Motel, how is it?
Very, very uncomfortable.
I like the master, huh?
It's a stay you'll never forget.
Don't want to go back for more, huh?
That's right.
So I think we're ready to vote, Mr. Perkins, Mrs. Stapleton.
So my vote today is pardon with full restoration of firearms.
Mr. Prater,
Pardon with full restoration.
Mr. Freeman,
Pardon with full restoration.
Mr. Tiller.
Mr. Perkins, you have a lovely wife and two beautiful young ladies, and you've done well. My vote is to pardon restoration of firearms.
And my vote is the same, Mr. Perkins. So on your behalf, we're going to make the recommendation for a pardon with full restoration of firearms and all that goes with it. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You go
All
and
right,
stay.
we have Theodore Parker, DOC 718-664, that did not sign in today, didn't check in. And then we have Michael Harper, DOC number 294322, also did not check in today. So we are going to remove those from today's docket, and we will adjourn at 12:08.